Welcome to another episode of What is Hashimoto's with Dr. Martin Rutherford. To find out more on any of our topics, or for information on scheduling a consultation with Dr. Rutherford, please visit us at whatishashimotos.com. And now, here's Dr. Rutherford.
So this is an interesting one today, Hashimoto's in our Hashimoto monthly series here. And the question was, is Hashimoto's related to polycystic ovarian syndrome? So the answer is probably. There are different studies out there that suggest that PCOS and Hashimoto's exist together. Some say 40% of the time, some say 30%, some say 50% of the time, some say 60%. But there's definitely a link between these two conditions. Hashimoto's, frankly, rarely exists by itself as an immune condition, all right? So usually if you have Hashimoto's, if you really start looking around, you're usually going to find the person either has celiac or antibodies against their cerebellum, or they're going to have rheumatoid arthritis, so they're going to have something else like that. Autoimmune gastritis, autoimmune hepatitis, just a lot of things that you can have along with Hashimoto's. PCOS is a little different animal than that. What they think is that the PCOS is really caused, polycystic ovarian syndrome is really caused by blood sugar problems. And despite what you may have heard, it's caused by blood sugar problems. And when you have insulin resistance, when you are morphing towards diabetes, when you have whatever you want to call it, pre-diabetes, insulin resistance, those blood sugar problems alter the ability of the ovaries to make their estrogen and their progesterone, right? So where does thyroid come in with that? Okay, so Hashimoto's is largely a hypothyroid condition. We talked on one of the segments about the thin Hashimoto's patient, and we're not talking about that one right now because they generally don't get polycystic ovarian syndrome either. And so basically the thyroid will affect sugar metabolism. Thyroid will affect metabolism in general. The thyroid, if it slows down, it'll slow down your adrenals, it'll slow down your pancreas, it'll slow down liver function, and it'll slow down the ability of cells to metabolize things. And all of those things I just mentioned manage your blood sugar. And then in the end, if they start not functioning right, maybe insulin starts not functioning right, next thing you know, you have insulin spikes going. Now you develop prediabetes, insulin resistance, and then that can ultimately lead into you having polycystic ovarian syndrome. That would be the actual chemical pathways that would occur versus the fact that there just is an affinity for Hashimoto's to be involved with so many other different areas of the body. And I suspect the reason is because Hashimoto's is a thyroid problem. It's an autoimmune problem first, the thyroid problem second, and the thyroid most of the time is a hypothyroid problem. And the thyroid has receptor sites in every single cell of your body. So pretty much when you go down into hypothyroid, you're pretty much affecting everything. You can have low blood pressure, you can have low blood sugar, you can have more from low blood sugar and high blood sugar. You can have a low acid in your stomach. So that's kind of like the full breadth of. That's a little bit more complex question than what are the ranges of Hashimoto's. But I felt it warranted a little bit more of an explanation. So yes, and would you take care of the Hashimoto's in somebody who's got PCOS? Absolutely. I'd be dampening immune inflammation so that the attack on the thyroid allows the thyroid to gain more function, and then that whole chain of events will not occur.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of What is Hashimoto's. To find out more on any of our topics, or for information on scheduling a consultation with Dr. Rutherford, please visit us at whatishashimotos.com.